Hello, I'm Jamie, and welcome to today's episode of What's Happening in Space. Our first story is SpaceX preparing next generation Starship launch. SpaceX is getting ready for the next test flight of its upgraded Starship 3 rocket, currently targeted for around May 19th. The new version includes upgraded Raptor engines, redesigned fuel systems, and the deployment of Starlink simulator satellites during flight. Well, I don't know about you, but I wish all Starlink satellites were simulated. Story 2 is Elon slams his junk into the moon. Yes, you heard right. Astronomers are predicting that an old Falcon 9 upper stage could impact the moon near Einstein crater on August the 5th. The rocket originally launched lunar missions including the Blue Ghost by Firefly Aerospace. Scientists say the impact poses no danger, but could create a fresh crater for study. Well, if he's going to slam a Falcon 9 rocket into the moon, I guess there's got to be a good side to it. So thanks for that one, Elon. Story 3. Blue Origin is testing its first moon lander. Blue Origin has begun major testing of its Endurance Blue Moon Mark 1 lunar lander. The vehicle is part of the NASA's Artemis program and could eventually carry astronauts to the lunar surface. The tests are happening at NASA facilities ahead of a possible lunar mission later this year. So, fingers crossed that they actually get this to work. We've all been waiting for years for them to get back on the moon, and it's just one delay after another. So, yeah, I hope it goes well for them. And speaking of Artemis, NASA's Artemis moon program facing pressure. It sure is. NASA is under increasing pressure to keep the Artemis moon program on schedule. On schedule? It's never been on schedule. It was supposed to be there in 2024, according to Elon, of course. But that didn't happen. So now it's a few years away yet. So current plans aim for astronauts to return to the moon in 2028. But both SpaceX Starship and Blue Origin's landers still need successful test missions before NASA can approve crewed lunar landings. So come on, billionaires, pull your finger out, get your act together, and get this shit happening. I ain't gonna live forever. NASA and China National Space Administration intensifies moon race. China continues advancing towards a crewed lunar landing later this decade, while NASA reorganizes parts of Artemis. Analysts say the competition between the US and China is becoming the modern version of the Apollo era space race. Well, we all know what that's about. It's about land grabbing. You've got all these corporations that want to get up there and mine some resources and make some big dollars. And so the race is on. See who can get to the South Pole and just put up a flag and say, this shit is mine. So that's got them all in a huff, and hopefully it will get them going. And of course, China is probably getting helped out by Russia, who, never got there, but well, I guess they want to claim a bit for themselves as well. So it's all on for young and old. Story 6. James Webb Space Telescope and Hubble Space Telescopes reveal hidden stellar nurseries. New combined observations from Webb and Hubble have uncovered thousands of young star clusters emerging from dense clouds of gas and dust, giving astronomers one of the clearest looks yet at how stars form. So good on them. You've got to love the James Webb and the Hubble. They were the best thing that ever happened in my lifetime. They absolutely got me into astrophotography. Just looking at those photos, you can't help but wonder how big, beautiful, and enormous our galaxy and universe really are. So good on the space telescopes. And whilst we're talking about space telescopes, new space telescopes launching in 2026. NASA's Pandora is already in orbit studying exoplanet atmospheres, and the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope is expected to launch later this year and could become the successor to Webb for wide field deep space surveys. So we can only hope and cross our fingers that they get that right and they get the Nancy Grace up and running as soon as possible, because I personally really looking forward to seeing what it can do. Now, in astronomy, if you're on Facebook, no doubt you would have already seen 100 images so far of the comet C 2025 R3 Pan-STARRS, and the fact that it's currently in the constellation of Orion. So if you're an astrophotographer like myself, it's really a good chance to get out there and get a once in a lifetime image. If you're in the southern hemisphere like me, at the moment it's great because the moon is out of the way, so you get a nice dark sky and a really good opportunity to catch a pretty amazing sight. I managed to get out there myself the other night and got an image. This is it here. It's what did I get? 41-minute subs, and they're stacked and processed in PixInsight. And it's not a bad image for me. I'm a bit of a mug with cheap gear, but definitely worth doing if you're into astrophotography. Well, there you have it, our first show. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to click like and subscribe. And that's the show for the 15th of May, 2026. Thank you very much, and we shall get back to you on Monday.